Want to come in your gaping ass.
Yikes, dude.
Hello, this is George Romero. You're listening to East Coast Horror Group.
Well, hey guys. Thanks for joining us. My name is Nikolaj Candykill, and I'm here to introduce your host of tonight's show from Dusk on Radio, the East Coast Horror Group. Hey guys. Hey Nikolaj, what's going on, man? Thanks for introducing us today. I appreciate that. Hope everyone else appreciates the introduction of Nikolaj as well. Thanks for joining us on our new bat time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Here on today's episode.
Is his name Decoupage? What's his name? Decoupage?
Nikolaj.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is a decoupage?
It's where you cut shit out of the newspaper and stick it on shit.
Oh, well, yeah, no, he's gone now, I think. He might be back later, I can't tell. He didn't tell me if he was going to. But yeah, we're at a new time today, a little earlier. So hopefully we can catch some more of you in the live streaming chat room before everyone hits the sack, hits the hay, goes to bed, you know. So we're excited to be on a little earlier. Gives us some extra time too. So anyway, as always, I'm your host, Drew, along with your other host here, Mr. Michael Exler. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good.
Tomorrow's Friday.
It is. That's true. When today's Thursday,
it is.
Typically, the following day is Friday.
Yes.
So.
And that is a good day.
Why do you say that?
Because then we get 2 days of freedom.
From what?
From work.
Oh. You know, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life.
Well, to the 0.398% of the world that does that, that's awesome. For the rest of us, not so much.
What do you mean? This is what we do to make money, dude.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. We gotta have a meeting after.
We're swimming in it right now, bro.
I'm missing some paychecks then.
Nikolaj is working on a few sponsors for us right now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
If anybody could do it, Decoupage can.
What?
Decoupage.
So, also, if you missed it on this past Select Tuesday, Dead on Movie Reviews with guest host Lizzie Mears is up on the YouTube page. So make sure you check that out. It was a good one. It was fun. It was a good show. Everybody had a fun movie to talk about. Don't you believe so, Mac?
I do. It was a good show, and it'll be out on the website tomorrow for your weekend viewing if you haven't hit the old YouTube page. So that'll be out tomorrow. And then this is actually going to be our last show for about a month. Our producer, Tim Critchman, the man, the myth, the legend, is going to
undergoing surgery? Oh. Wait.
What? So
he was getting surgery.
Surgery to become Hawaiian.
No, he's getting surgery to have that huge stick removed from his ass.
Yes. So he will be away, so that means we will be away. We will have plenty of content from Days of the Dead Atlanta from our resident writer, Adam. He has some things in the works, and then we will also... I'm thinking about maybe dipping into the archives a little bit.
Dip your toe in.
Dip it in, wash your hands, and then bring some of the old content back, and maybe some resurrection, if you will. So keep checking the website for that, and the Facebook page. We'll be talking about that on there as well. Hey, before we get too into this madness, everyone here at the East Coast Horror Group and Days of the Dead suffered a loss this past week of Sam Majeski, Scott Majeski's lovely wife. Scott works with Days of the Dead. He does the tattoo contest and the tattoo convention in Louisville. We want to give our deepest condolences to Scott and his family for the passing of his wife, and we just wanted to say that. And rest in peace, Sam.
Well said, Mr. Exler. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
now back to madness.
Now back to your regularly scheduled nonsense.
Yes.
So where do you want to start at? You want to talk about The Ritual? You want to talk about that first?
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Did you watch it?
I did.
I assume that because you put it on the list that you had seen it.
Yeah, I did see it. I watched it actually the night after last week's show because you had talked about it, and that film, as it was going through, it had a lot of things that we've seen like 1,000 times. You know, like someone dies, people go on a pilgrimage or some kind of shit.
Right. It's like Without a Paddle was possessed by Satan.
Right. This movie, to me, I don't think should have been as good as it was, but I was highly entertained the entire time. I bought into these characters. When you got to the creature, it was like, oh God, don't show it, because as soon as you show it, it's going to be like the fucking mama thing, and it's just going to look awful, and you're going to break this film. But they showed it, and I was like, wow, that's fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah.
The setup, just the tension the entire time, and then they get to that fucking house, dude, and like what happens in that house is just crazy, because they just wake up and you know as much as they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, dude is like so distraught because he woke up praying to this epitome of
right.
Weird doll, and he's super fucked up about it, man.
Wouldn't you? Like, I wouldn't have stayed in that house, dude. Once I saw that thing upstairs, not a fucking
weird
chance.
Mannequin or whatever it was, man.
Oh, it's fucking awful, dude. Like things nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
I like the actors. I like the story. The ending, I thought, hit pretty well.
Right. It wasn't necessarily a happy ending, I wouldn't say.
No, not at all. Actually, but I like the purpose of the final person.
Yeah.
I like why he was the final one. Right. I thought that was interesting and original. But again, I was shocked, man. I really, like, as it started off, I'm like, man, this is going to be run of the mill. But by the end of the movie, I was like, this was great. I highly enjoyed this.
It's like, oh, we lost the map, take a shortcut kind of a thing. But then it turns out to be actually really, really good. And I had to put subtitles on sometimes because they were very British. And sometimes I couldn't understand what they were saying. But yeah, I bought into the whole Norse mythology thing, and it was a bastard offspring of Loki that was still around from centuries past. Yeah. And like you said, they didn't showcase the monster so much, but they did show it enough to make you realize that, it looked like nothing you'd ever really seen before.
No, not at all. Like, there was that one scene where it kind of like came out of the woods and ducked down, and you saw its face. And I was like, damn, dude. I was like, that's fucking ill, man. Like, I don't know.
It had like a little body protruding from its like head area. Like, it was just
right. It could have gone really wrong with their design, I think, but they pulled it off. They pulled the whole movie off, man. Like, it was really well done. And for most people that know me, I dislike most things. So if you're out there listening, check out The Ritual, because it was entertaining and really well done.
Was that a Netflix original, or was that just picked up by Netflix from some like English IFC or something like that?
I think it was just picked up and Netflix put it, because it had Netflix on it, but it didn't say Netflix original. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it went down. But good on them for finding that and putting it out to the masses.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good one, man. And there's a lot of shit on Netflix right now, because I tried to find a horror movie last night just to kind of chill when I went to sleep, and there's really shit on there right now. At least that I haven't seen already.
Yeah. I'm a little pissed at Netflix right now, though.
Why?
They didn't renew the third season of Disjointed.
Oh, really?
And I don't know why. It's a great story overall, but there's two characters in that show, Dank and Dabby.
Oh, yeah, I know they are, yeah.
Dude, the second season, they stole the fucking season, man. They are so fucking over the top and hilarious and perfect. I don't know why it wasn't renewed.
I'm pretty sure
really
the
don't.
one dude is on SNL from Dank and Dabby. The black dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, the whole cast was great. They were all tweeting out after the announcement happened that they were just devastated because they just were having so much fun doing that show. And I could imagine why. I mean, you're working with Kathy Bates and a bunch of talented unknowns per se. But yeah, it was a great show, and they were like, "No, we don't want it," so, which is shitty.
It is shitty.
Boo, Netflix.
I remember watching an episode. Isn't there a guy that like refuses to smoke weed?
Yeah, Taekwon Doug.
Yeah, and then they made him smoke weed at the end of it. I remember that.
No, he never smoked.
I don't
He
know
never
what this
smoked.
episode. He locked himself in the bathroom for like a long time. Something happened to him. Maybe he was in the military or something. Or he was like.
Oh, that's Carter. Yeah, he was the security guard. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Anyways. So yes.
The Ritual. Check it out.
And Kevin Smith almost died this weekend too, or this past week.
He did. He had a massive heart attack in
I'm
his
afraid I have bad news
lung.
for you.
Thanks.
He tweeted out that before he did his like message to his fans that whatever, but I guess the artery that was like 100% clogged is called the Widowmaker. Because I guess if that's clogged and you have a heart attack, you die. But I guess some doctor was able to save his life.
And now
So he
he's
can
going
be
to be a
around-
vegan, he says.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think a massive heart attack could change a lot of things about you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, is anyone really surprised that Kevin Smith had a heart attack? I mean, old fat dudes have heart attacks. That's kind of what happens.
Well, he lost a ton of weight. He really did. He lost a shit ton of weight, which makes me really nervous.
He actually
He got
on
healthy.
Instagram. Yeah, he did. On Instagram, the Disney Channel or whatever sent him a cookie, and it said, "Get well, Kevin James."
Nice. Kevin James.
I just thought that was kind of a funny joke.
Isn't that Blark?
But yeah, all our best to Mr. Kevin Smith. He's been an impact on a lot of not only independent artists, but just artists all around. The way they write dialogue and the way that movies are made. Period. He's our generation's rogue indie filmmaker who made his movie on a credit card, and now he's a bazillionaire. So
Hasn't made a good movie since 1998.
Red State was good. Tusk was fun.
Maybe he'll give us Red State 2.
Redder. It's the reddest of all states.
Even redder.
Even redlier. No, stop. You're the worst.
I used to be a big fan of Kevin Smith, but I just have been really disappointed in his work since really Clerks 2 was the last thing I really enjoyed from him.
What about Comic Book Man?
Dumb, stupid, I hate it so much. Bunch of jackasses in the fucking store, and then it's just time to suck Kevin Smith's dick in a round table, and he can show off how much he knows about comic books. It's great. Fuck that. No wonder it's on at midnight. Fuck that show.
I'm always down for a good penis fest.
Listen, sometimes you just got to go to one. All right, I stick by my previous statement.
So no
So what was-
judgment zone.
It's true. So what the fuck is the Santa Clarita diet? And
Oh,
how
the
should I
Santa
go on
Clarita
it?
diet. You don't
Can I
want to
have
go
sweet-
on it.
No, okay.
Not at all. That means if you go on the Santa Clarita diet, you're eating humans.
Oh yeah, well I'm already on it then.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Soylent Green-
It's actually... What?
It's like Soylent Green.
It is. It's people. That movie. Something else. Santa Clarita Diet is a horror comedy that is a Netflix original starring Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant. Watched the first season, actually binged it all in one night. We just watched the first episode, and Geneva and I were like, this is really good, and we just watched the entire thing. It's smart, it's witty, it's funny. The chemistry between Drew and Mr. Oliphant is fucking amazing. They play two realtors. She has turned into a zombie. Not your traditional zombie, but you have to watch it. Some of the side actors that they bring in are hilarious. It's more of a comedy than horror. I mean, there is a horror aspect to it, but it is just really well done. And the new season is actually kicking off March 23rd. So you can go on Netflix, watch the first season, and then the new one's coming out at the end of this month. And I'm excited for it because it left on a cliffhanger. So definitely excited to see how it goes.
Good news, everyone!
Jesus. So what do they? I don't understand. How do they pick their victims and stuff to eat?
Well,
Or
it
is
was
this like?
It was funny. It started off where she just wanted raw meat. So they would just get like raw ground meat or raw steaks or whatever, and she would just eat that. And she was fine with it. And then it got to a point where she just didn't want to eat raw meat. So she would like grind it up in a smoothie and would just drink these smoothies all the time. Well, as time progressed and she got further on into her, I guess, zombification, that wasn't working anymore. So she needed freshly dead meat. So they tried the animal route, and the animal route wasn't working. So they went the human route. And if two people could fuck things up more, I've never seen it. They fuck up everything, and that's part of the fun of it. And it's their best friend is a cop, and their neighbor that they dislike is also a cop. And the two cops hate each other because the one is a town cop and the other one is a state trooper.
Right.
So the state trooper believes he's superior to the town cop. So that whole dynamic is really funny too. But it's basically them just fucking up and trying to cover up the situation. They have a daughter, and this girl is hilarious, man. She is so good in this show. So they sort of go after the route of going after bad guys to
So it's the Dexter route.
Yeah, sort of. Just not well thought out or well executed, or anything done on a on a good level besides chaos. Chaos follows them around a lot. It's very, very funny. But like I said, the chemistry between those two it's really, really good. And it's something that I didn't think I was going to like. I was like, what the fuck is this? Horror comedy bullshit. But no, it's really well done. It's another example of how writing, if people would write horror well, I think horror can move up a notch in people's thoughts, not just like a bottom barrel genre of film.
I mean, I think that's definitely the case. Sunday, even though it was The Walking Dead's lowest, whatever the fuck this is, mid-season premiere, I guess is the right name for it. It was the lowest rated one.
Oh, really?
It still beat it still was the highest rated Sunday show in the time slot. So it beat the Olympics closing ceremony, which I'm not surprised. I mean, they didn't have hockey. They didn't even have hockey in the Winter Olympics this time. Who cares?
Well, they had hockey, just not pro players.
Right. And you booted
Wait,
Russia, so they weren't going to have a hockey team anyway. So,
which is bullshit because they couldn't compete under the Russian flag.
Right.
That they were Olympic athletes from Russia, which I thought was bullshit. But the U.S. women's team won.
Yes, they did.
That's all that matters.
It's because the United States is the only place where women are allowed to do other things besides cook and clean.
Well, there is that.
That's why our soccer team kills everybody too.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, I'm assuming you didn't watch it.
No, I haven't watched it for about a year and a half now. The last episode I watched was whenever the fake scientist got abducted by Negan.
Oh God, yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, sadly, I'm still trudging through. My entire family does not watch it anymore. I'm not even sure why I do anymore. But this was Carl's death. Carl is no longer on the show.
I mean, I thought that was the last season. Like that's what it was last season, or like the last.
Well, the mid-season finale, you found out he was bit.
Okay.
So this was his actual demise. Him growing sick and having the fever and all that kind of stuff. One thing I took out of this episode is Chandler Riggs is probably the worst actor that's on a series today. When he shared the screen with Rick and Michonne as he's trying to portray that he's dying, oh God, it was painful to watch. And not because it was sad. He was just awful. And then there was a character, an Indian guy, who Carl saved, and that's the reason that he got bit by a zombie. He had, I don't know, maybe a 2-minute interaction with Carl and outacted Chandler Riggs like it was fucking an Oscar performance, dude. So I don't know if this Indian guy has chops or it's just Carl's that fucking...
I mean, do you think that's why they wrote him out of the shows? Because we're going to have to give him adult parts now, and he can't act, so we better do something.
You know, I wouldn't put it past that at all. I mean, he was just fucking awful. Like,
I mean, he was fine as a cute little kid, but yeah, now he's...
Right. Yeah, eating pudding on the roof and all that, that was fine. But this fucking, like him having to have emotion and say real things, just, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. One positive thing of the entire mess that is The Walking Dead is Morgan. I'm sure you remember Morgan.
Yeah, absolutely.
His storyline is probably the best. Well, it is the best.
He wasn't killing anybody the last time I saw him.
Oh, he's killing everybody now. He's a very complicated character.
Changed his tune now, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have a mid-range. There's only I'm not killing or I'm killing everything with a pulse. But his storyline is very interesting because he's already filming for Fear the Walking Dead, which I am a fan of Fear the Walking Dead. So I'm wondering how they're going to get him from the Virginia area to New Mexico. I'm curious about that. I mean, he better start walking now, I guess. I don't know. But I'm curious on how that goes. And I think that's what's keeping me watching is the fact that I want to see how he moves from The Walking Dead to Fear the Walking Dead. And I just like his character. His character is very complex. But I did read an article before the show that all of the actors have signed contracts for next season except Maggie. I guess Maggie has not signed a contract, and there's rumors that she is just going to walk away from the show.
Oh, well.
Yeah, again, I don't care. I was just reporting the news.
But how did Andrew Lincoln take it? I'm sure he had an emotional scene.
Oh, yeah, he was, he and Michonne were great the entire episode as far as...
Are they like an item on the show now?
Yeah, they are dating. They are. And they both can act very well. Right. So at the end of the episode, they were in a sewer hiding from Negan's people. and everybody decided to go to the hilltop, but Carl wasn't going to make it. I mean, they could hardly move him. But so they decided, everybody left, and it was just the three of them in this like underground sewer deal. And they decided that they were going to try to make it back to Alexandria. I don't even know why I was half paying attention. So they make it back to Alexandria, which is now just scorched earth. Like all the buildings are burning. Negan just destroyed everything. But the church was semi-left standing. So they were in the church and they were trying to figure out, like, well, when he dies and turns, which one of them are going to stab him in the head and all this kind of stuff. And Carl decides that he's going to shoot himself.
Like his mom.
Yes, before he turns. So there's a dramatic scene of Michonne and Rick. Michonne's standing on the porch, Rick is sitting on the porch, and you hear he has a gun with a silencer on it, and you hear the little and, their reaction was very fitting because, you know, Carl's dead, and you know, they did a very, very good job. And
Coral.
I actually watched a video where Andrew Lincoln's like, "Thank God I never have to say Carl again." So he seems to be a pretty funny guy.
Thank God I don't have to say Carl again.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh,
wait a second, I thought you were Southern."
No, he's very British. But yes, so that's the demise of Carl, and I think it packed zero punch. Him dying. Like I don't think anybody dying at this point is going to hold anything because it's just been too fucking long. The show is way too long in the tooth.
But I mean, I would assume Rick just lost his mind now, right?
No, Rick is actually saner than ever. Carl wants Rick his like dying wish was to find humanity and everything. So
oh god, that was his line?
Yeah, find the good. And so essentially what Rick wants to do, from what I gathered from seeing like scenes from this season, is he wants to kill Negan, and then he wants to get into a utopia of, you know, everybody's planting crops and living together in harmony. So I don't know. I don't see that happening. But that's what he wants to do. Blech.
Why? So he's a hippie now?
I don't think a hippie, but he wants the killing to stop, I guess.
Amoxicillin could not get the illin to stop. Sorry.
To win the war, we have to stop killing.
I thought that they already killed Negan. Like, I don't know. I just assumed they did because that was like what was leading up. They were trying to get the Tiger dude to help him out, but to kill Negan. I just figured that's what happened.
No, Negan's still alive.
Because they were going to war or something.
Yeah, they've been at war for a while, and it's dragging on, and it's actually one of the most boring wars I've ever watched.
What are the zombies? What is this like? It's just like once in a while there's a zombie. They're like, oh, here's your budget, Greg. Just make one cool zombie this episode.
Yeah, the zombies are very ancillary at this point in The Walking Dead. Like I said before, they're more of a nuisance than a threat anymore. So, yeah. And I think that's exactly where they went wrong. You know, I understand that it's a morality tale, you know, good versus even, the humans or the monsters and everything, but once you lose the core of, you know, when characters see a horde coming and they're just like, oh, really? Like, you've lost your way. Like, come on. Like, that's fucking stupid. That's a horrible reaction. I don't care how long you've been living with these things and killing these things. Like, a horde of them coming your way, that's still going to get a reaction of like, oh fuck. What do we do?
Yeah. I remember the last time they dumped them all in that big hole or something and killed them all.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Where they built that thing. Yeah, that was a cool episode. Is Norman Reedus still alive?
He sure is.
Interesting.
Sure is. doing Norman Reedus things.
Just looking
Actually,
dirty
he
at the
hasn't.
camera.
Pretty much. He hasn't had much of a really decent role. I mean, he's just Daryl, and he carries around his fucking crossbow. That's about it. And looks like he hasn't showered, and looks like he sucked on a lemon with his eyes all closed.
What about the badass chick with the gray short hair?
Carol is still alive. Her storyline is intertwined with the dude with the stick. I was just talking about him earlier.
Morgan. Yeah, it already
Morgan.
kind of was. She was trying to teach him that you got to kill people there for a while.
Yeah, now she's kind of like, oh fuck,
What did I
have
do?
Yeah,
She's this killing machine.
like they were. Do you remember the guy that was in charge from Negan's crew? The
guy.
was
You talking about the dude from Grand Theft Auto?
well, there was a dude from Grand Theft Auto that went to Alexandria, and then like his
Dude with the
equal.
burn face?
No, that was another guy. His equal went to Ezekiel's place to take all his shit.
I vaguely remember.
Well, he had Ezekiel, and Morgan and Carol came to get Ezekiel back from this guy and his henchmen in this episode. So they had a shootout where Ezekiel had his base in like the amphitheater, in like the high school theater auditorium. That's it. So they had a shootout or whatever, and they were all fighting, and Morgan stabbed this one dude, or no, someone shot this dude, and then there was more fighting, and then the dude that got shot like fell on Morgan and was fighting him and trying to choke him. So Morgan reached into the gunshot wound and just started pulling his fucking intestines out.
Oh God!
Through this
That's
gunshot
awesome.
wound. It was actually the best scene I've seen in The Walking Dead in like years. And it just shows you like how far this dude has gone fucking haywire.
Well, he was nuts as fuck on top of that house with all those mines and shit.
Oh yeah, he's back there.
Yeah.
He's fully back there at this point. And the dude that would always come to Ezekiel's place, the Grand Theft Auto guy's equal that just had to run to the kingdom to take their shit. He was just like, "You're fucking insane!" Like he's like, "I don't know what you're doing," and that was the best scene of the whole show. Like I said, for years. But that's just how fucking far gone Morgan is. Like
Does he still carry the stick around to kill people?
He does. He does. He is. It used to be blunt at the end. He has sharpened it now. So,
But it's still wood, right?
it is. It is. Yeah, but he does carry guns as well. But he's more. He prefers the stealthy kill.
I just want him to take like a halberd or something and start chopping people off with it.
Shit.
So I saw in social media the past couple of weeks that there was a lot of, big time horror celebrities that were promoting the return of Fangoria.
Blah blah blah.
So that was always my favorite horror magazine. I know that there was a guy who was running this, kind of running the show. There was an editor who. I can't really say that I remember reading what happened, but people didn't like him for one reason or another. I believe we spoke to him on a show at one point.
Yeah, we did. He ran Fangoria right into the ground.
But it's making a comeback, so that's. I'm excited about that. It's just, it's nice to have a different kind of media out there. It gives us something to look for, and another outlet for people like us. What do you think about it?
If it was the original type of Fangoria, I'd be all about it, where it was actually like paid writers that were actual reporters that went to sets and were paid and were actually capable of doing that. But the Alexander era of Fangoria was they fired everybody that collected a paycheck, and it was just like random Joe Schmo could send in articles for Fangoria. And if they deemed it decent enough, they would run it. So it was. I just thought the quality the last couple of years of Fangoria was just sad compared to what it used to be, and if it's going to be that way again, I really have no interest in it. But if they actually put real people that know how to write back in it, I'm all for it, because I love Fangoria. You know, I remember as a kid, I just bought a bunch of back issues at off of Pop Culture Comics here in Pittsburgh. But again, I don't want to read a bunch of poorly written articles. Like, I have no interest in that at all.
Right. I mean, I think you get to know the writers in a publication like that, and you want to, you know, that's one of the draws. You know, Mr. Deathman. You know, I want to see what his review of the new Rob Zombie movie is. Let me see what he thinks. Let me get into the comments and tell him he sucks or whatever. You know what I mean? So you can't just have freelance writers doing it all the time, because it's just there's no reason people to buy it over and over and over again. There's no reason for a subscription for it, I think, in that matter.
Not at all. Not at all. Because you're not. What are you paying for? You know, these people aren't going to set like it was in the old days. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know, I miss the old days of Fangoria.
Well, I mean, physical media is dying, or if not already dead. I can't remember the last time I actually purchased a Blu-ray or a actual video game or any kind of actually solid media other than books. I still won't get a Kindle just because the pretentiousness in me wants to display books, so it makes me look smart. But that's
fair.
really the only physical media that I have left. Everything else is pretty much digital.
Yeah, I still buy Blu-rays. Like, I don't buy a lot of movies anymore because it is so easy to either stream them for free or whatever. But if there's something that I really dig, I will buy the Blu-ray.
Right. If there's a collector's edition or something worth buying, I think that then I'll usually get that. But
yeah, Best Buy does a lot of steel books, and I really like those. So, like, I will buy those. But like your random movie, like, I'm not buying it.
Right. Best Buy is actually going to stop carrying CDs this year.
I didn't even realize they still carried them. I thought they wouldn't.
Yeah, no, they do.
Huh, that's weird. That's weird.
A Perfect Circle new CD comes out on 4/20.
Oh, nice.
And they usually always do something cool for, if you actually buy a physical album. So I remember one of them. I don't know if it was 10,000 Days or if it was Vicarious, where it came with like 3D glasses, and then you put them on. Like, part of the album cover was 3D glasses, and as you flip through the art, like, they would be affected by the glasses. It was really cool. They've always done cool stuff like that.
That's sweet.
That was Tool, though. That wasn't a Perfect Circle, but anyway.
Same thing.
Basically, you listen to both of those bands because you want to hear Maynard.
Yeah.
For the most
and hear his wisdom.
Exactly.
So we have another death that I wanted to talk about. Jack Ketchum. Now, this is some old news, but we haven't been on for a while. Now, Jack Ketchum, I met him at Horror Realm. Super nice guy. If you bought his book for like $7, he signed it for you for free and talked to you as long as you wanted to. And we have talked about this many times, Drew. The Girl Next Door, not the Alicia Cuthbert one, either.
Right. No, I mean, I threw that book across the room a couple of times. Like, nope, I'm done. I can't do any more of this.
Yeah, that's actually the book I bought, and we talked about the film, and that's the film that he was the most happy with, that translated best from his book. He thought they did the best job, and what a fucking terrible story.
Yeah, and it's a true story, which makes it even more terrible.
Yeah. But super nice guy, very talented. Obviously not his real name. I think his real name was Dallas something. I don't know.
Page.
But he's dead now. So go buy his books and read them and enjoy them.
The Woman, I still think, is one of the best revenge films ever made.
Yeah, it's good.
Based off of one of his stories as well. But yeah, he was kind of a guy that flew into the radar. The radar. What the fuck is a radar?
I'm a
Sorry,
radio.
English is my only language, and I still can't seem to get it right most of the time.
Radio.
So he flew under the radar as a kind of a horror personality. I think somebody who doesn't get as much credit as he deserves for his contributions. So it's and hopefully now, since he's in the news a little bit more because of his passing, unfortunately, that people will start to rediscover some of his work, and he'll be able to be mentioned in the same breath as people like Clive Barker and Stephen King and Dean Koontz and those kind of guys. So I think he's easily as talented. I think the reason he probably didn't get as much press and as much attention is because his stuff was a little bit too fucked up for mainstream.
Yeah, sure was.
So.
But he was just as talented as all those guys you just mentioned.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just his subject matter was not a wide reach.
Exactly. He didn't make the Green Mile, that's for sure. So
no.
There was no lightheartedness in his words. So
we need a shower.
Rest well, sir.
Rest well. Enjoy the afterlife. So what do we have next? A lot going on.
Oh, dude, the other day, I'm naked, right? And I was
whoa.
You know what would make me not naked anymore?
Clothes.
An East Coast Horror Group t-shirt.
Oh. You could buy two and use one as pants.
I like magical dongs.
I mean, it'd be weird.
Or you could buy one like 4 sizes too big, put a belt around the middle, and you have a dress.
Yeah, dude.
That was probably the worst transition into a fastcustomshirts.com ad that I've ever done. I was like, I was naked.
I just got an email from T-Shirt Joe saying, "Don't let Drew ever do that again." His business just went down threefold.
Damn it. You know what's nude? Isn't that a weird word? Say nude to yourself a few times. You're like, is that real?
Nude. Well, I find if you say any word to yourself over and over again, you can.
I guess that's true.
Get to the point.
Somebody should study that.
Doesn't make any sense. That word's not even a thing.
Baloney's another one. Not only is it spelled stupid, but it doesn't sound like it should be a real word.
No. I love baloney, though. So good.
I wrote it! What?
I wrote it!
Who was that?
Who let John Russo in here?
Jesus Christ, John. Take your fucking medicine and get out of here.
If I see one more person invite me to My Uncle John Was a Zombie, I'm going to reach through Facebook and pluck their eyeballs out.
I don't get it. Well, I don't do Facebook anymore, but I don't get any invites.
I don't want to see that movie ever. Ever.
Did you know that he wrote...
We just drew straws to see who directed them. That's why George did it.
He's the famous one, and I just wrote it.
I should have directed.
Makes no sense.
Then it would have been shit.
Ugh, God. There was a 2K release, or a 2K. Fuck me. A 4K release of that film. Why would you put Night of the Living Dead in 4K?
So Image 10 could get their money.
How do you upscale that movie to 4K ever?
I don't understand.
Like fucking Super 8.
I have no idea. I don't understand how you can take something shot on 35 and make it 4K awesome fucking soupy pants. I don't get it.
There aren't that many pixels to begin with.
It's movie magique.
You know what probably happens, so they can say it's 4K, is that they probably have some extras and interview like 3 people and put it in and shoot in 4K, so now it's a 4K release.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Bunch of shyster, shady fucks.
Anyways. So Tim was asking for John to join the show, so I called him up and he came and hung out with us for a little bit, so you're welcome there. You know, all these celebrities coming on the show. Again, Nikolaj was on earlier, and John, I don't know how we got snubbed for the Rondos again this year.
You know, we're bringing the cream of the fucking crop here.
It's really been the only thing on my mind. I can't think of anything else. Night and day, wake up, go to sleep. All I think about is I'm not good enough because the Rondos didn't pick their show this year.
Hey boy, take off those tight shorts. Get sexy.
Man, I hated that one.
Don't like it.
Blech.
I
Blech.
can't wait to fuck your feet.
Oh no. Mike, did
I
you see a
can't
movie
wait to
called
fuck
Demon
your
House
feet.
ever?
No, I saw the trailer. It's not out yet.
It's about Bilbo Baggins?
Zach Bagans, baby.
Okay.
Zach Bagans of Ghost Adventures.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, he actually bought this house for real, because he's swimming in fucking money from chasing ghosts on TV.
So stupid, dude. Just pay him for nothing. Pay him to set up a camera in an empty room. Ta-da!
Yeah, I think his museum in Vegas just opened up as well. He has a
there's a
Vegas.
little secret I have to let you in on.
Huh.
Not known by many people, but ghosts are not real things.
Well, this man has made millions looking for him. That is a fact. That is a fact. So he actually buys a bunch of shit. He bought Jack Kevorkian's van. He bought
For what?
to put in his museum. He bought Ted
It's
Bundy's
just a used car.
bug.
No, that's in the Crime and Punishment Museum. I've seen it before.
Oh, is that there?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, he buys or people donate haunted items to him for his museum. So that is in downtown Las Vegas that you can pay money and go see that. But yes, he has obtained millions of dollars over. I think his show
Scamming people over and over.
Hold on, guys. There's something you said I don't understand. Did you say he bought a car by the Death Doctor, right?
Jack Kevorkian used
Jack
this
Kevorkian.
van in order to help, assisted suicide. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So his car was haunted?
But there were people. He
What
used
is
to
a
use it
haunted
for the
car?
actual people would die in the car.
Yeah, people would die in the van.
But how do you haunt a car? The whole idea of haunting is you're stuck in a spot. A car, by its nature, moves around. That's what those round things on there are for. It rolls.
First of all, Tim,
Dude,
stop with this logic stuff when you're talking about people who believe in ghosts anyway.
Dude has so much money that he bought this VW bus that was Kevorkian's, and he just was like, well, they're like, well, how are you going to get it into the fucking museum? And he was like, that's a good question. He's like, I'll just hire somebody to knock this fucking entire wall down that's a load-bearing wall. And he had to pay $30,000 just to get that fucking thing in to the museum.
Jesus.
But he's got fuck money like that, dude, so he don't even care. But in any case, there's this demon house
All right, I'm out.
that in the paranormal world is supposed to be the most haunted location in the world.
So demons and ghosts are different, or what?
I don't know the story behind it. I actually don't. I just know that that's supposedly the story of it. So Zach bought it in real life. So this movie, Demon House, is a fictional movie
Obviously.
that he wrote, directed, and stars in as himself.
Jesus Christ.
And it's essentially, from the trailer that I watched that you can find on YouTube, it's essentially going to be a feature-length film that's exactly like Ghost Adventures, his TV show. Because he plays himself. He has one of the guys that's on the TV show with him, and then some other people, and he talks about how he buys this house and then he has to go and investigate it. So it's essentially like a film length version of Ghost Adventures. And I guarantee you, he spent minimal money on this film, and he will rake it in. Rake it in.
Are they just going to put it on Sci-Fi, or what is it actually going to be on? Like,
I think you're going to have to buy it on DVD.
Oh, for real?
Or streaming some way. I don't know. It was just released. It's just finished. So I just want to put into perspective with you about like the popularity of this dude. I don't
know who the fuck he is. I've never heard of him before.
I was talking to Adam at the Hollywood Theater at the Carpenter Fest, and they have a haunted location, like it's an asylum or something out by them. And I think 2 or 3 of the guys from Ghost Adventures, Zach, Aaron, and I think another one, were going to be there signing autographs, so you could like go to a ghost tour and then meet them and get your picture and all that kind of stuff. They said over 4,000 people showed up to meet these guys.
What?
Yeah, 4,000.
Essentially, what they do is set up camera equipment and take it down. That's their job.
Yep. So this is how deep they go, dude. 4,000 people showed up. Like,
do they ever videotape the cleaner in a pool? One of those little filters.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Well, I wanted to see if they were artists or not.
So yeah, I mean that's where this goes. But I guarantee you, he will make millions of dollars off of this film. Guarantee you, without a doubt. And he's going to laugh all the way to the bank. So.
I better know how it ends.
The name of the place is the Mansfield Reformatory that Adam was talking about. The Mansfield Reformatory.
They have a haunted house there. They actually, is that where they shot the Shawshank Redemption, I believe?
The Paw Pag the Poopin'? Yeah, dude, I saw that.
But yeah, it's
I'm out.
From Cleveland or so. Used to go there when I was younger for their haunted house. It was dope.
So you do realize Mansfield is a different city than Cleveland, right? You realize that, Drew?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
That's why it's not fucking called Cleveland.
Right, it's called Mansfield.
Cleveland.
It's different. Because I would think of everyone, you'd be the one that would be down with a place called Mansfield.
Book me. I'm always down for a good penis fest.
I'm out.
Defer to him.
So I've actually watched. I remember when Ghost Adventures was just a short, or like a hour or 2 documentary that the Travel Channel put on, and then he's got 13 seasons under his belt now. I've watched every season.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I've watched it since the beginning. I like ghost shit, man. I don't know. Can't tell you. Can't tell you why, but I do. I think it ties in with me being a history buff. I really like the historical aspects of it.
How many times did they find a ghost on the show?
73. Dude, you can't go by that show. Who knows with editing and everything? I mean, and it annoys Geneva, so I like that aspect too. I'm a horrible person.
I can't
That's
wait
true.
to fuck your feet.
Stop it!
But I don't like to fuck people's feet, so I got that going for me.
Do you?
They said I don't.
So we talked a little bit last week. We're starting to run out of time here. About a movie called The Devil's Well, speaking of ghost stories and paranormal activities and hauntings. You were pretty stoked to see this, and I can't wait to hear exactly what you thought about it.
I don't know if I was stoked, but it's another paranormal movie.
We're very excited. More
I
excited
want
than I've ever seen.
I want to play the tape back because I don't get excited, really ever.
Not what I hear.
But
hey, you know.
Gotta do that.
Stop.
The thing that pissed me off about it, and I talked a little bit about this last week and on Dead On, is the tagline or headline of this one article is The Devil's Well is going to make Paranormal Activity look PG, and I thought it's stupid. Like, if you're gonna take a fucking hit at a movie, like, come up with a better line than that.
Your rating was gonna look not as horrible. The MPA was gonna be wrong.
Yeah. And if you want to go after a movie, maybe not go after like a genre creator that was original and really well done and actually scary. I will stand behind that movie all day. And not the sequels, but the first one was legit. This
Two
movie,
was your favorite.
2 I loved. I remember going back. I remember the odd ones were good and the even ones were complete piles of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But this movie was fucking terrible, man. There's nothing redeeming about it. The story was just fucking super weak. The actors were terrible. It was supposed to be a found footage film, but for some reason there was an awful lot of Steadicam footage. So I don't know how that really worked. Then the end of the film happened where the big climax was supposed to happen, and the shit went down, and it was just like, wow, that was fucking stupid. That was the worst thing ever. It just boiled down to, it was just a bunch of Satan worshippers, and it wasn't paranormal at all. So it was dumb, and I hated it, and I do not recommend it ever.
Why do Satan worshippers get such a bad rap?
I don't know. Apparently all they do is kill people and shit.
No, like, I've never heard of an actual devil worshiper, or a Satanist, let's say, proper, hurting anyone. So,
well, I think it's more propaganda of the church.
yeah, I think so too. Because I mean, if you think about it, who Lucifer was, the guy who was just not a yes man. And it's like, oh, you're not a yes man, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to make fun of you forever.
And turn you into
the
the
bad
most
guy forever.
Vile, disgusting creature known to man.
Like, damn, dude.
I just don't agree with some of this shit.
Yeah, chill the fuck out.
Yeah,
anyways,
dumb. Don't watch it.
I never intended to watch it. The fact that you even knew it existed made me wonder a little bit. But
I didn't even put it in the fucking thing. Tim put it in there. And then I was like, oh, I watched the trailer, and I was like, damn it, I gotta watch it. And so I blame Tim completely.
We can blame Tim for many things, but we can't blame Tim for how awful that movie was and that you watched it.
Darn right I can. And I will.
And I did.
Baboon.
If
yeah.
you watch this, you need to fucking pull your eyeballs out with a spoon and kill yourself.
It's true.
Yikes. Emerald City
make
Comic Con was today.
It was. All this weekend, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, so, good luck if you're out in Seattle, I think is where this is.
No, it's
Got some
in
cool
St.
stuff.
Louis, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was Seattle.
It was St. Louis. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, you can find me in St. Louis, where the gunplay rain all day.
See you in St. Louis, Screwy.
Anyways. So, I mean, that leaves us with only 1 minute left. Mike, is anything that you wanted to mention before we call it quits here?
Yeah, just look out for Dead on Movie reviews coming to our website tomorrow. Always keep on the lookout for Adam's written content this week in comics, as well as retro reviews. We will have a lot of panels coming out while we're on Hawaii hiatus. We won't be in Hawaii, but some jerk will be. And
We'll be
look for
called a Hawaii-atus.
Kauai.
Hawaii-atus.
So look for all that content. We'll have some older stuff coming out. Maybe we'll have a midnight spook show. I don't know.
Oh, please!
I didn't grab anything off his server. I never thought to grab those off the server. Because he was like, you have a week to grab your shit off there. Bah.
Like, it's still hard for me to believe that was ever a thing that we ever did.
Oh, no.
Oh, at least we met Timmy. Well, Autumn was on there too.
It turned out well.
Anyways, thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with us today. Appreciate everybody live in the chat room. Everybody who downloaded us, thank you. Make sure you check out fastcustomshirts.com. If you want a t-shirt, that's always the place to go. Not just our t-shirt, but I mean, they got a lot of great shit there besides the East Coast Horror shirt. Just make sure you get one of those in addition. So, we are going to be off again for a few weeks. So, we'll let you know. Keep in touch with us on social media. Subscribe to the YouTube page, and you will know when we'll be back. So that's another from Dusk Till Con Radio. And it's the place that has all the cons, creeps, and culture that you can stomach. Thanks, guys.
East Coast Horror Brew.
Doing some decoupage.
Hey, guys. That wasn't even him. I can't do it anymore. That was maybe it was a one-time thing.
Dude, you gotta watch it with voices, man. Sometimes it's hard to fucking do it again. Got that fat rabbit. Fat rabbit.